At this point, the man needs a rebrand, not a rebuttal. Stop arguing with Dwayne Wade. Stop beefing with LeBron. Stop falling asleep on the freeway. Go coach some kids. Do some charity. Start a podcast called The Wake Up Call. Something productive.
Few moments later.
Paul Pierce caught sleeping on the job, literally. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round, because apparently the truth forgot what lane he was in life and on the freeway. Former NBA legend Paul Pierce was reportedly arrested on suspicion of DUI after police found him asleep behind the wheel of his car, stopped in the middle of California freeway traffic. Let me say that again for the folks in the back. Asleep in the middle of traffic, not parked on the side, not in a driveway. My man was catching REM sleep between exits. Now, I don't know what's wilder, that Paul Pierce really thought he was in park, or that he's still out here thinking he's the one telling the truth after all these years. Because this right here, this ain't the truth. This is the nap. If you've been following Paul lately, you know the man's been making headlines for everything except basketball. Between the live stream with the strippers, the IG rants, and the weird beef with Dwayne Wade, his legacy, Pierce has been out here like he's trying to go viral on purpose. But this time, he might have taken it too far. Real quick, if you're rocking with the channel, do me one quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and join the movement. Here at Sports Impact Media, we're dropping the hottest takes, the funniest roasts, and the realest breakdowns in sports and culture. So don't just watch, be part of the family. Click subscribe, turn on that bell so you never miss when we cook somebody up, and let's keep building this thing together. According to reports, police found Pierce in his car, engine running, foot on the brake, in the middle of traffic. When they tried to wake him up, he was reportedly confused and unsteady. Now, I don't know if he was unsteady from the drinks, the embarrassment, or realizing he just gave every LeBron fan on earth fresh ammo. Because, let's be honest, Twitter's about to have a field day with this. The same man who said, "I'm not impressed with LeBron's career," is now out here getting pressed by the California Highway Patrol. And you know somewhere out there, Dwayne Wade is sipping wine next to Gabrielle Union like God don't play about his kids. But jokes aside, this could have gone way worse. It's one thing to clown, but it's another thing to recognize how dangerous that situation was. The fact that Pierce didn't hurt anyone, including himself, is the real blessing in this story. Because falling asleep in traffic, that's not just wild, that's scary. Still, please leave it to Paul Pierce to make an arrest headline sound like an episode of the Boondocks. You know the police were like, "Sir, do you know why we pulled you over?" And Pierce probably said, "Pulled me over? I was taking a timeout." It's tragic comedy at this point. One of the greatest small forwards in NB. A history can't seem to stay out of his own way. It's like he retired from basketball just to start an undefeated streak of bad decisions. And this arrest, it's another self-inflicted L. But let's zoom out for a second. Because beneath all the jokes, there's a bigger truth here. No pun intended. Fame is a hell of a drug. When the lights fade, some people don't know how to adjust. The adrenaline, the schedule, the spotlight, all that disappears overnight, and suddenly you're stuck chasing that same high in all the wrong places. Pierce clearly needs help, or at least some real friends who can pull him aside and say, "Bro, maybe call an Uber next time." Because whatever's going on, it's sad watching a legend slowly become a meme. At this point, the man needs a rebrand, not a rebuttal. Stop arguing with Dwayne Wade. Stop beefing with LeBron. Stop falling asleep on the freeway. Go coach some kids. Do some charity. Start a podcast called The Wake Up Call. Something productive. Because if the truth doesn't turn things around soon, his legacy's going to get buried under these headlines. And that's not fair to what he accomplished on the court. So, yeah, Paul Pierce got arrested for allegedly falling asleep in traffic. But maybe this is the moment that wakes him up for real. Because right now, the truth doesn't need to go viral. He needs to go home